Okay, hi, it's Toby from Heavyweight MMA. Today with Aaron Tozum Up Toe, proud Māori fighter, representing Ngāpuhi Ngāti Toro, fighting out of CKB in Auckland, New Zealand. Kia ora, bro.
Kia ora, brother. E pe ana koe, how are you?
Good, man. Very good, very good. Good to see you, man. It's been a while since we had a chat. I was just listening to the chat, man. That's a good chat. Anyone wants to have a little listen about your background, some of your Māori heritage, go back and have a look at our chat, because it was real good stuff, man.
100%, bro. Was that? But that was a bit of a while ago, wasn't it? Been a few days between drinks.
That's it, man. And back then, bro, your face was a blank canvas, bro. Now we can see your matora, as you can correct me on that pronunciation. Talk to us about it, bro. Like, how did it come about? What does it represent? What was the process?
Well, my matora, that's how you say it. Mata is the face, and ora is the life. So it's pretty much translates to the living face, and it comes from my culture being Māori. It's a pretty prestigious thing to be able to wear. You have to do a lot or be doing a lot for your community and your people in order to be able to get something like this. And just obviously because of all the positive things I'm doing coming out of the bush and representing my whānau, my family, my friends, and all the people that got me this far, I felt almost obliged to carry our culture to the big stage. So yeah, that's where I'm at now, bro. And pretty much it's just the representation of where I'm from. I'll give you a little bit of explanation about what the pieces are. So each line has a different meaning, but just a general overview. So this middle line here down the center, I'm trying to straighten my face up, down the center here, that line, that represents me. So I am at the center of my own universe. Around my mouth here is the people that brought me up, the ones that cared for me, the ones that got me this far, and the ones that helped me create my future, because your creation comes through your mouth. So these are the people that helped me create. And then I have my tupuna, my ancestors' two wives on my cheeks. So that's Whakaruru and Ahuaiti. And those two women created our whole tribe. And yeah, from that lineage, I come from both sides of that ancestor, and they come together to form me again. And that's where I come back to my center. So it does also grounds me, but it also lifts me up. So this part on the nose here represents the fact that I go out and search for knowledge, breathing through my nose, absorbing that new knowledge to give to my family. And then the part of my lips are tattooed represents the fact that I can speak te reo. It being te reo Māori Language Week this week in New Zealand, yeah, it's pretty cool being able to do that a lot.
Awesome, man. Has it made a change in your life at all, man? Like having your facial tattoo remind you every day of your background, your heritage and everything, or anything else that you feel from it?
Yeah, 100%. It definitely helps you conduct yourself in a better way, mind, body, and spirit. Obviously, because there's a bit of I wouldn't say prejudice, but just people's own opinions on tattoos, especially face tattoos, even in New Zealand. So to conduct yourself in a way that, because you're pretty much putting a flag on yourself. This is what kind of person I am. So I want to represent them in the right way, and I want to make sure that it's not misrepresented. My people aren't misrepresented. There's a lot of tikanga. There's a lot of like protocols that go with having something like this, because it's prestigious, and you can only kind of get it if you earn it. So to keep that prestige nice and high, there's a certain way that you conduct yourself in order for you to represent your people properly. And yeah, it's just more about being a good human being, being a leader, being someone that deserves to be followed, and overall just following the ways of our people and trying to, obviously, our culture was nearly extinct. So there's been a big renaissance in the last, I'd say 10 years, maybe longer, where we've been trying to fight to get our culture back into the mainstream and make it appropriate, or make it cool to be Māori again. Because at one point in time, especially it was only like 70 to 100 years ago. There was apartheid and stuff in New Zealand and certain parts of New Zealand as well. So just to make it cool to be Māori again and make it normal and make the society give them a better perspective on what real being Māori is, and for it to be something that should be held up in prestige, not looked down upon. So yeah, that's part of my mahi, part of the work that I'm trying to do, bro.
Yeah, it's good seeing you representing your Māori heritage, bro. Kai Kara, Fran, Shane Young, the boys up there. I'd like to see it on the big stage, bro, eventually, so you can do the same as these boys.
Yeah, that's the goal, bro. I'm just advocating for that at the moment. Obviously, this fight is a cross-code fight, so 1 round kickboxing, 1 round Muay Thai, 1 round MMA. But obviously, I'm fighting one of the top kickboxing Muay Thai practitioners in my weight class in Australasia, if not Southern Hemisphere of the world. So I'm just going to put a big stamp on this fight and let them know that I'm a level above everyone that's even anywhere near me. So maybe when they come to Auckland next year, I'm looking around March. They want to sign me up. If not, I'll put a few more jaw-stopping performances in a row and let them know that they can't get rid of me even if they want to.
That's it, man. So as you mentioned, you're fighting at Arsenal X on 22nd of September versus Dominic Reed, who's from South Island Liga, which strangely enough is you guys are kind of interrelated in a way when you look at the gyms, right? Like everything comes back to the Liga and Sifu Philip Lamb and different schools that are sprouted from that. But watching him, man, he's a good fighter. He's a good stand-up Muay Thai kickboxing fighter, man. So it's an interesting rule set for you to compete against him in.
Yeah, he's absolutely at the top of the game, bro. He very nearly missed out on being king in the ring, champion, I'd say 3 times. Obviously, falling to my new training partner in Nikura Likingi. Taking nothing away from Dom, though, he showed that he deserved to be there in every one of those fights. So, that's why this is a really good and important fight for me. I just want to prove that I'm just levels above these people, you know. I'm not being rude or anything, trying not to disrespect anyone, but I know where I stand in this sport and in striking in general. I'm the best there is, and I'm going to go out and prove that next Friday.
Nice, man. So it kicks off in kickboxing round 1, then Muay Thai, then MMA. Just a question, bro. What about the gloves? How does that set for the first 2 fights? Do they change gloves or it's little gloves?
Nah, baby, we're 4 ounces all the way.
Oh,
yeah, no, it's pretty much like cage Muay Thai idea-ish, but cage K1, obviously first round with 4 ounce gloves, and then we move through the skill sets alter, but the conditions of your weapons don't really change too much. Obviously with the hands, I mean, obviously first round's just punching and kicking. Second round, the clinch comes into play, elbows, knees. Third round, it's just a free-for-all, mixed martial arts at its finest.
I'm very interested in the third round, man. I want to see what happens in the third round. So I hope it makes it there, bro, because 2 fighters like yourselves will be looking to take each other out in the first 2 rounds. And I want to see the MMA. And you got to think, like, I can't see Dominic's MMA background anywhere. So you got to think if it hits that third round, he's fucked, right?
Well, that's a good question to ask, really. But he has been training over in Bali at Bali MMA. I see he has had an MMA fight since being over there. He trains with some top guys, you know. I don't think that he'll. I obviously under the impression that he knows that I can wrestle and I'm good at jiu-jitsu and my ground game is phenomenal. My top control is ridiculous. So that's something that he's going to have to ask himself coming into the third round if he makes it that far. But obviously, like you said, the 2 styles that we have and the heart that we show, the way that we fight, this ain't going to be a long night for the predictions of myself anyway.
Yeah, man. And you see, obviously he's a skilled fighter, man, likes to press forward, nice knees, body punches. He seems to hurt a few people with body punches, man. But when you look at that, if we're talking from the MMA perspective, the way he walks in, if he hasn't really refined that martial art MMA skills, he's going to walk himself into takedowns and stuff, right? Because he's a press forward sort of fighter.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have to worry about the first 2 rounds, really. So he can play that game early in the game, but if he gets further down the track, he's going to have a bit of a problem with it. I think just the experience that I have in MMA, fighting in smaller gloves, is the defensive techniques that you have to use in an MMA fight, or even just in a 4-ounce glove fight, bare knuckle. It's a big difference being able to defend. You can't do this boxing style of just putting the wall up. But you'll eat a right hand or something, that you don't want to eat, and then you'll figure out like, oh, man's going to be on his bike if he's not pressing forward for sure.
Yeah, man. And last time we spoke, bro, you were training at Combat Academy under Dan Hooker and some of the lads. You were also visiting CKB, I believe, but now you've transferred over full-time to CKB, right?
Yeah. So the whole gym has pretty much, most of the fight teams still here. Dan has decided to kind of take a step back from coaching, even though he still pretty much coaches me. Not a lot, but we work together a lot. But yeah, he's used that time to pretty much just invest more in himself. And that's allowed us to come over and be exposed to a whole different style of teaching through Doug Vining, through Eugene, through Twist, and then through all of the top tier boys like Brogan Anderson, obviously Dan Hooker, all of the UFC boys, and the boys just right behind them, Kevin Josette, who just made his UFC debut, Cam Ralston, who just missed out on his UFC contender fight. Yeah, just due to stuff that they didn't check the medical till last minute, which was a bit sad. But they'll clear that and he'll get his shot. So it's nothing too major,
Yeah.
But yeah, with those top tier boys, they definitely give you something new to think about and freshen up the mind. Yeah.
That's it, man. And the CKB have a particular system that I hear people talk about, that it's not something you can just stroll in and pick up. It's something that develops over time. Is now you're there full time, are you more involved in picking up the actual CKB system that they use, or is that something that you've kind of been involved in before? You've kind of been learning along the way?
Yeah, well, Dan teaches the same system off a specific branch that benefits Dan, like Dan's style and Dan's certain physique. He uses the system in his way that benefits him. He's very good at teaching it to me because obviously we have very different body types, but he understands what a long man wants to, the positions he wants to get to, the advantageous ranges that he can be in, and what he's trying to do to a smaller person, whereas I'm trying to do the opposite, and he knows where to find those holes and teach me those things. So yeah, I've been involved in the system since my very first fight under Dan Hooker. Now it's just more, it's second nature now, It's gotten to a point where I don't think about these things anymore. It just kind of comes off, and that's when it becomes really dangerous, because hitting the way that I hit people and being able to put these technical things into play, it's going to be a hard night for anyone that gets in the cage with me now that this stuff's sunken in so deep. And I'm keen to let people know that that's where I'm at now. So that's why I'm so excited to take this fight next week.
Yeah, man. So final prediction, bro. Arsenal Extreme, 22nd of September versus Dominic Reed. Mixed rules, kickboxing, Muay Thai, and MMA in one fight. What's your final prediction, brother?
I'm just gonna slow cook him, bro. I'm gonna let him know that I'm a better striker than him, and then force him into the later rounds. And then once I get my hands on him, he's gonna know that I'm just a different animal. This is a different thing in a different place, and I'm a whole different species of human that you've never encountered before. And love to you for taking the fight, but it's not gonna be fun for you, brother.
Looking forward to it, man. It's been too long. We need you in the ring a bit more, bro. You're looking at trying to be a bit more active now. It's been a year, bro.
100%. I've been trying to get fights ever since my last fight. It's just been a bit hard because no one wants to take the fight. No one wants to put it on the line. I was lucky that my own friend Paul Loder took the fight and put it on the line. He's been on a tear ever since we fought. So, yeah, any bantamweight in Australasia, if you want some smoke, come and get it because I got nothing but smoke in my pockets.
Ready to go, bro. Bro, one more thing I want to mention. I saw you post talking about like the changes in life with the facial tattooing and that, bro. You were kind of racially profiled at one point by the New Zealand police there, right? Pretty hectic, that one.
Yeah, it was. It was actually like I took it down because obviously the stigma with confronting police and all this kind of stuff, how it can affect your future if you want, to be involved with certain companies and things like that. But I just put it up for the sake that I was racially profiled based on my tāmoko, my matora, and they accused me of stealing my own car, which was absolutely insane to me. I was like, even the whole process of it happening, because I was driving on the main street, Dominion Road in Auckland. The cop car, I had seen them like way back, but I'm not doing anything wrong, so I don't have any reason to be worried about the police. Driving to training, and then they come up next to me in the bus lane. They looked at me, and they carried on driving, and they pulled over in the bus lane and must have searched my plates or something. And the car's registered to my missus, so it's not in my name, obviously. And then they pulled me over saying, the exact words he said, which is the reason why I started recording, is they said to me, "We pulled you over because we think you've stolen this car." And I was like confused, because I was like real confused. I was like, "This is my car, but I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, just to have a chat to you or whatever." And then they were like, they wanted me to get out of the car and search me, and I was like, "What for? Like, so are you arresting me?" I was like, "What's going on?" So what happened was, my car wasn't even reported stolen. There was nothing. No traffic offense, no nothing. And then I drove past them, so they pulled me over, and then they decided that I didn't match the gender of the person that was driving the car, so therefore I was suspicious. And I was like, under those pretenses, that is not a justified reason to pull someone over. I said, you've racially profiled me, like 100%. I was like, I'm not even a black Māori, I'm a white Māori. But just because I have a tāmoko on my face, you assume that I've stolen this car. So anyway, I got my phone out and I recorded the whole incident. And they ended up letting me go. They didn't search me. They didn't take my license. They didn't do anything. And I said to them, I was like, this is not a stop and search state. I was like, you're abusing your power. First of all, then he's trying to say to me, oh, we can pull you over and do a license check. I said, that's fine. I said, if you told me that you're pulling me over for a random breath test or a random license check, I wouldn't even have bothered arguing with you. I would just gave you my license. The fact that you pulled me over and told me that I stole my own car and you have no proof of this, and that is why you pulled me over. Now you've illegally detained me. Now you don't have the right to actually check my license because this is an illegal detainment. I said, are you arresting me? I was like, if you want to arrest me, and then we can deal with it the right way, because then you've illegally arrested me and all that kind of stuff. I know my rights. I lived in Australia for 10 years. I got into a few problems when I was there, so I decided that I needed to learn these things, because with information comes strength and power, and the responsibility, once you know those things, is to make sure that people don't take your rights away. And especially with the way that the governments are going all over the world, I in that moment felt like I needed to say something and do something. I did take it down. I do have the video, and I am going to create a resolution with the New Zealand police and all that kind of stuff, because I want them to be. I want to know what they expected me to do. I want to let them know what they should have done, and I think they just weren't well trained cops, to be honest. They were misinformed, and they just made a decision based on something that they shouldn't have, and they made a mistake, and that's why they let me go. They let me go without IDing me at all. They let me go without knowing who owns the car. They let me go without anything, because I pretty much convinced them that they were in the wrong, which they were. And so I've had no rebuttal from it, but I just didn't want to get harassed by the police and stuff afterwards, and all those kind of things.
Yeah, no, it's a fair call, man. You're being mature about it, bro. But like you said, they're humans, man. Humans make mistakes. We're not all perfect. I'm not fucking perfect. They made a pretty clear mistake there, but it's something. They're in a position of power. They can't afford to make these fucking stupid mistakes. Treat people with respect, follow the law, and don't fuck around. That's really what it comes down to. Yeah.
That's right. If I committed a traffic infringement and I didn't indicate, or I run a red light, just pull me over. Like, I don't have a problem with you doing your job. I just
Yeah,
do it properly. And if you're gonna make a mistake, at least be man enough to say, yeah, look, hey, obviously they don't want to do that, but that's just because of the position that they're in. But I have no quarrel with the New Zealand police with any kind of jurisdiction at all. It was just more so the way that they treated me and labeled me, and obviously the last 200 years of oppression that we've felt, even just trying to bring our culture back. I felt the need to stand up in that moment, and then obviously um, speaking to the people around me. We chose a different route, and so we're going to go and just have find a resolution the right way, instead of just blasting it on social media and all the
yeah.
negative stuff that comes with it. Because I didn't even want to give it energy. I wasn't even going to post it up, but I just felt the need to do that in that moment. But yeah,
Yeah, no, it's fair, man. Like I said, that's a mature way to handle it, bro. Anyway, bro, I'm looking forward to your fight coming up. Looking forward to some more activity when some people want to step up to the plate. Thanks for your time, bro, and I'll be watching your fight.
appreciate it, brother. I'm here anytime you want to chat. Hopefully, I get a fight. I get this one out of the road next week, and then get one in before the end of the year, so the UFC come knocking at my door. So appreciate you, Toby.
Perfect. Thanks, bro.